Hi guys, welcome to Mike's Retro Corner. I've said it right this time, not Mike's VR Corner. This is part 2 of the PC Engine restore that we started last time. Now, as some of you know, we were taking apart this white PC Engine last time, and basically we did find some issues with this particular model, and there was some kind of shoddy work done to it. Now, what I did notice was the power input had been resoldered. Not best, but functional. But the most disappointing thing that we found was that the fuse on the internal fuse on the PC Engine had blown, and the previous owners had replaced that fuse with a piece of wire on the bottom of the motherboard. Now, I did say that we'd try to get that repaired, and I do have some replacement fuses on order, which should be with me tomorrow. So look for a further video of us taking this apart once more and rectifying that issue, and also putting the ground ground plane sheet at the bottom of it, soldering that back in again as well, because currently that's just sat in there. But for those of you who didn't join me on the last episode, this PC Engine was a bit scruffy. We took it apart, cleaned it all up, and then tested it at the end of the episode, and it worked to my delight. So if you want to catch up on that, revisit the video that I put on earlier last week. Also check out my YouTube channel because it's on there as well. Now today we will be looking at this Core Grafx version of, or Core Grafx version of the PC Engine. Now, as I said in my last video, the only real difference between these two is the fact that the outputs. So one has a plain kind of TV RF output, and this one has a proper kind of video audio output. So yeah, we'll be taking this one apart today. So I will also show you this beautiful thing that we have here, which is the CD-ROM 2, which is a very nice looking piece of kit. It's not horribly dirty. That I think it could do with a little bit of a spruce up. There's some like light scratches on this plastic bit here. It's not overly bad, and that I do know this works because it plays music CDs. So what we're going to do is leave this for now, and we are going to concentrate on this. Now, later on, we will be also having a look at cleaning this up. Now, it's not survived too badly. I mean, it's a bit grubby. The plastics around the back there are some kind of where it's been misused a little bit, so there's some scratches. It's quite scratched underneath, but luckily the top part isn't too bad. So if I show you the top part here, it's functional. It'll be fine. I mean, I can't repair the scratches on here, for example, but I think it will scrub up quite nicely. I don't want to scrub it too much though, to get rid of this kind of matte texture that they've got going on here. So I'll be a little bit careful with that. Right then, so let's have a look at this again. So this is the Core Grafx version of the PC Engine. Different color. It's hardware-wise, it's identical to the white version. There's no upgraded graphics in it. There's no upgraded processor in it. It's just a video output added to the unit and a change of color, of course. So let's get this open and take a look at what this looks like inside. Okay, that's interesting. So, even though they're physically identical hardware-wise, there is definitely some improvements that's being done on this particular model compared to the white one. The heat shield, or the RF shield, is a piece of metal in this version, so that's quite a nice upgrade. So on that version, there is a kind of RF shield. Well, there is here as well, actually. There's a smaller RF shield on this one, which is only soldered to certain parts of the motherboard. Now, there are some fingerprints going on here. Let me see if I can get that for you. Oh, would that be from the production line at NEC? Where it was put together? Or was it from the previous owner? Do we have issues with this one as well? So, I can't see anything that blinds in the obvious. I can't see any reworked solder here at all. I can see that there's, maybe that's where the fuse should be. It looks untouched, which I'm quite happy about. I can't see anything wrong with this. It looks like a good board. So it looks clean as well. It's a very, very, very clean board. That's very nice looking. So let's see if we can get this apart. I don't think there's anything else I have to undo. There is I think that's probably for. Yeah, it's the same as the other version, the white version, in the respect that in a way it's got this PCB board on here. So let's get a screwdriver for this. Okay. There we go, that's one. And yes, again, there's this little plastic cover on the top that is looking out after the PCB board, so it doesn't do any damage to the cable underneath it. Okay. There we go. So just a piece of plastic. Move that to the side. And there's a little kind of serial number thing going on here. Underneath, the condition of this is actually really nice. I mean, internally it's not really dusty. I kind of see a little tiny bit on the dark plastic, which is making it very hard to see. But this particular model seems to have a coating over some of the components. So if I move this over gently, because we don't want to do any damage here, you can see that the motherboard is kind of wet looking. So there's a shiny substance over the top of the motherboard, which is probably to protect it, in fairness, so the chips don't come undone. The solder kind of has something to back it up, a stronger kind of glue substance over the top. But the capacitors look fine as far as I can see. There's no leakage. It looks in good condition. So we will carry on with the cleanup on the bottom and top case. see how this has come out. So there was quite a lot of dirt in between the grill parts, and I bet this was pretty dirty, but it was really hard to see because of the grey colour. This has come out not too bad. I can see it's slightly better than before. You know, it's an old unit, and I'm never going to get away with getting out these. There's like a scratch there. But to get that out, I'm going to have to buff out the texture. And I'm not going to do that because that will take away from what it looks like, and it'll make it look silly, I think. What do we think? I mean, they're a little wet, but I think the dust has gone. They do have a kind of texture in the vent bits as well. So the texture that's on here is also in the vent holes, which kind of makes it look like it's dirty still, but it's not. It's just the texture of the case. So there we go. That's that side done. Now the bottom part of the case is going to be interesting to do because of this. I don't want to get it too wet because I don't want to unsolder this to be able to clean it yet. So what we do, we get the toothbrush out, we go around the edges, take any loose debris. I don't really want to get that going all over much. Right, I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to use a little tiny bit. Here we go. So I've given it a clean. I mean, without taking it all apart, and taking this cover off, I'm not going to get much better than that. There is some dirt on the inside here, around the edges, and I'm going to use my trusty paintbrush. So we will get that all done. Just to get any loose dirt out of here, because once it's back together again, that's how it's going to be. Not much to do on this run, really. Right, so that's the bottom part. So we will go and have an explore around the PCB board. So again, let's check out those chips. The little bumblebee on it. So the Hudson logo. It's I love the little touches that some companies do with their PCB boards. And if you look at this, it's nothing. You know, it's a small board. There's my hand. It's a small board, and it's a pretty PCB board. In all reality, there's not much there, but it's well laid out, and there's no damage to this particular board, which is nice. This is come out great. I mean, there was not much to do with this. It's you know, it's a different layout on the PCB board. It's a clean PCB board. There's kind of like a cover on it to protect the PCB board as well, but there's no dust. It looks like a good condition console. Right, so we'll put this back together again. Just under this piece is going to focus. There we go. This piece of metal here. So as I said, on the other one, they've bridged this bit with a piece of wire. So as I said, we have some fuses on the way, and we will do a video on replacing that dodgy wiring job. and putting our correct fuse back in its place. So here we go. So this has all been cleaned up. It's looking better. It's, you know, it's not. It hasn't come up as well as the white version. The white version looks amazing compared to the grey version. That the grey version looks better in a kind of looks way. You know, it's like,
oh, I'm the white PC Engine. Look at me.
And then this one comes along and it's like,
I'm the oh
no. So this one looks a lot better. Right then, let's get the unit out. Everyone remembers this from the last stream. This is the suitcase unit that you could get for the PC Engine. It was basically, it had a cover on it, and you could carry your PC Engine around like a suitcase. So it had this little handle on the bottom, and you could go like, I'm going out to my friend's house, you know. But I sadly don't have the cover. It wasn't there in the rubbish dump when I was getting this particular model. But I'm happy for what I got, for the price I got. So we will go ahead now and start connecting the cables up and seeing what we get. And when if we have time, we will try the CD unit. In we go, making sure we push it in all the way, otherwise you can't switch it on. So let's swap over to our game screen. Okay, let's clean up our work surface. Let's just make sure we do this right. Okay, I'm going to prime it. Okay, power's on. I have a game card, yes. Okay, so here we go. So both of these were in a rubbish dump, and you know, it boggles the mind. I mean, these were never released in this country, so why something as rare as this? Why was it in a rubbish dump? You know, that. Let's see if it works. It loads the cartridge, doesn't mean it works. So we are going to some ROMs. Let's have a look what we will load up today. Now, I believe some of these ROMs are for different versions of PC Engine. So we might not, if we don't get a load, we'll reset and we'll try another game. So let's see what we've got here. We know the other one loaded 1943. And that showed us that the console works. So we just want to see this working. So we will try to load this game. Okay. Right. The console works. Right. Perfect. Jeez. That's good to know. So yes, region locks. There are region locks. The TurboGrafx version of the PC Engine, the cards are region locked. So I'd say that the ROMs are also region locked too. So we will try. So we know it works. Let's try and find a different game. Which one that's not going to be region locked? So what have we got here? Bomberman. Oh, let's have a look. Bomberman Japan. Here we go. Is that going to load? Is it going to load? Yes! Yes! Look at this! Oh, amazing. Here we go. Is it going to work? Now, I need to service these controllers, but we're going to try this out. How long have we got? We've got not long now. I'm going to try the CD unit out in a second. So here we go. This is another working system. It's, you know, as I said, it kind of boggles the minds where people are throwing these things out. So this is probably to see if there's a region lock on the ROMs. So Bomberman Japanese version worked. We will try the US version. It's probably universal version. Okay, that's worked as well. Cross-link. What the heck's this? I wonder if this is for the handheld units, where you could link them up like the Atari links. You have a serial cable that would talk to each other. So the U versions worked. So maybe not all the games are region locked, or some of them are for the version that has more memory, because these are the first versions of the PC engines, and there were ones with kind of graphics upgrades and more memory. Right. So let's try the CD-ROM attachment. Okay. So this is a lovely bit of kit. Let's get that plugged in. So, as I said, the CD-ROM attachment, I know it plays audio CDs, but I've never been able to get the units to work together because you need a systems card to access this. It didn't happen automatically. Like the Mega CD, you just slot it into the console. You would need a systems CD-ROM kind of system BIOS that you would plug into this, and then it would access this. You know, make it more difficult. But later on, they did include systems which has that built in. But why not just do that? You know, if you're releasing a CD-ROM attachment at the same time as it's coming out, just have the system card built in. But let's just try something. I'm going to be careful because audio CDs, you know, it's going to be interesting. Now, I don't have a game CD for this, but I do have one coming. So once that comes in and we've replaced the fuse on this, we can try the game out on the actual unit at the same time. So, right. So I don't think the CDs I have now. I have done a little bit of research in burning games for them, and they don't like particular CD formats. So if you have a 700 megabyte recordable CD, it's too dense, so it won't read it. So you have to buy 650 megabyte CDs and use those. Now they're hard to find, but luckily, I managed to find a pack of 10 on eBay, and I have them coming. They were shipped today. So we can also try burning some games and trying them as well, because the games on CD aren't region locked. They just load. So we will give them a try too. Right then. So we've got an audio CD in here. Now, check this out. I'm going to imitate a CD BIOS using this. So, okay, Mike, it would help if I slide the little switch over. So, switch this back on again. Now, this unit hasn't done anything. There's no lights that have come on it. It's just sat there, stationary. So what we're going to do, I have done this previously to make sure I have the files I need for this. PC Engine BIOS CD. And we are going to go for version 3 of CD BIOS. Let's make sure that's in there properly. So we will now run this, and hopefully something will happen. That's come to life. So it's recognized the disk and it's gone to track 1. So I'm going to do this very briefly so I don't get any kind of copyright strikes. Oh. If I start it off. So you should, there we go. Right, so I'm going to, yes, I'm going to turn that off. So we have, that's a working unit. So we have everything so far that I have collected from the Rubbish Dump PC Engine bundle that I picked up is working. So, you know, it's such a shame that the recycle centres have stopped you from doing this now, where you could go down, you could sign up as a retailer or a dealer kind of thing. If you were electrical savvy kind of thing, you could sign up on their books and they will let you go through the electrical piles or of waste that they've collected. Now they stopped doing that. All they do now with the electrical waste is they throw it in a container and they ship it off to a different country to be processed. So who knows how much how rare items will be lost forever because of the way that they've changed their policies, where you can't go in there anymore and you can't pick up this stuff. You know, I was lucky enough to rescue this stuff from rubbish dumps, and I'm looking after them now. But for the items that get thrown away now, for those people that haven't got a clue how much stuff's being binned, that, you know, it's a sad thing that on a good note, we have a working PC engine. We have 2 working PC engines and a working CD-ROM drive. But next time we will have the white one, which we will be taking apart yet again and getting the correct fuse installed, repairing the shield on the bottom so it's secure, and hopefully we'll have a CD game to check out at the time as well. Thanks for coming, guys. And again, if you like this kind of thing, check out my other streams, check out my YouTube channel, check out anything that's been on here, as you can see down the bottom. And thanks again for watching.